Hi, and welcome to this brief screencast demonstrating my final project for R685 in the fall 2012 semester. It's a website built with WordPress to serve as a personal reference guide for me to organize and share sources of information about academic technology and instructional design. The project serves to filter, organize, and curate the most helpful resources that I have identified for someone like me who works in a higher education setting as a technologist and designer. It's not meant to be a comprehensive reference guide, nor a finished product, but rather a beginning and ongoing attempt to reasonably keep up to date with trends and developments in a number of areas. In addition to WordPress, a popular content management platform, my system uses two other Web 2.0 technologies, RSS or Really Simple Syndication with Google Reader, and social bookmarking and annotation with Diigo. I'll illustrate those features in the course of this video. At present, the site has two main sections. Across the top menu are several broad categories that I've determined are particularly important for me to stay informed about. Under each category are 8 to 10 links to key resources, articles, essays, books, videos, that I have found especially relevant for that particular topic. These resources tend to be longer form in nature. Articles are usually journal length, and any videos listed typically run about 20 minutes or so. So here, for example, is a list of items under the Reading and eBooks category. And quickly take a look at a couple of others. There's video to screencasting items. And let's say we look at gaming. And typically, as you can see, there are several articles, 1 or 2 books, and maybe 1 or 2 videos as well. In addition, for each topic there's a link to 1 or more groups on the Diigo social bookmarking site. Diigo allows you to save and organize bookmarks, to annotate and comment upon articles, and to share this activity with others. In particular, a Diigo group can be specifically set up to facilitate this process. I've set up groups for each of my main categories, and sometimes I've also discovered other relevant groups that I've linked to. Once a group is set up, you can invite other people to join, and they can share your bookmarks and comment upon the articles. So here's my group for reading and ebooks, and as you can see, I've got links to the articles listed on the WordPress site as well as to other items not listed there. If I click on one of the articles, I can see my highlights and annotations that I've made. I can comment upon them. Here I see some of those annotations again, and someone else can come in and comment as well. Here's an example of another group on this topic. This one's set up by the folks at the National Institute for Technology and Liberal Education, or NITLE. Their group is called eBooks at Liberal Arts Colleges, and it's been here for a little over a year, and there are over 300 items bookmarked. This is an open group, but there are only 6 of us currently who are members, so it hasn't been too widely publicized yet. But again, you can look at comments and annotations that have been made and join the conversation if you wish. Diigo groups are a great way for a community to organize for discussion around a particular topic and set of documents and articles. So that's part 1 of the WordPress site. The main categories across the top with selected documents listed here and links to Diigo for further references, highlights, and conversations. The other main section of the site is the listing of links, mostly to blogs, along the right-hand side of the page. Again, I've organized these into several categories, somewhat overlapping the categories along the top menu. What I've done here is to select blogs and feed sources that I want to follow and subscribe to in Google Reader. In this way, I can keep up with trends and developments in these fields and learn about new resources and ideas. I'll highlight just a few of these sites that are my favorites. For example, here's the Prof Hacker blog from the Chronicle of Higher Education, which is actually a group blog that is kept up by about a dozen or so academics and tech people. Another key blog from the Chronicle would be Wired Campus. To keep up with online learning and MOOCs and that sort of thing, follow the Online Learning Update with Ray Schrader at the University of Illinois. And of course, there's our own traveling ed man, Dr. Bonk. But he hasn't been posting too often lately, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Quite a few colleges and universities have publicly accessible blog sites that serve the wider community as well as their own institution. Some of the best, in my opinion, are listed here. Let's take a quick look at a couple of them. Palomar College in California has a very nice and cleanly designed site that I've begun to follow. One great feature of this and other blogs is the blog roll, which shows you the sites that this particular blog follows. So you can check out any of those sites that you're not familiar with and perhaps start following them yourself. For another example from this category, here's the Integrating Technology into Teaching and Learning blog at Notre Dame. And so you can see here some of the recent posts that have been made in the last several days on various technologies, pedagogy, related ideas. You might note, by the way, here that this is also a WordPress blog, and that's true of many of the blogs that are operated by university technology departments. WordPress is a popular platform for those kind of blogs as well as many others. You see a short blog roll here at this site. There's the Prof Hacker and Wired Campus, for example, represented. And I might point out this site as well, EdTech Magazine's must-read higher ed IT blogs. Several of the blogs I decided to start following I found out about by looking at this list of, at least in their opinion, what are 50 must-read higher education technology blogs. So you might want to look through that as well, and you can find some that you might be interested in. I won't go through all of them, but that's where they are. Several other blogs that I follow are listed here under the categories Digital Humanities, Math and STEM, iPad and Mobile, and Gaming. I just want to take a look at a couple of these briefly. First is the Casting Out Nines blog. Casting Out Nines refers to a mathematical procedure that I won't go into in detail here. This blog is part of the blog network of the Chronicle of Higher Education, and it's maintained by Professor Robert Talbert in Michigan. And although it's focused on math, technology, and education and their intersections, I found it to be very informative and helpful, not just specifically with issues pertaining to mathematics education, but also more broadly topics in technology, pedagogy, and instruction. Among other things, Dr. Talbert wrote a very fine series of articles within the last couple of years on screencasting, and I include those in the set of articles under the main menu under the topic Screencasting and Video. A number of universities have initiatives specifically focused upon the use of mobile technology and iPads. Here's one that I found interesting, the Faculty iPad Initiative at the University of Texas at Austin. And here you have a number of faculty members who simply report upon their use of the iPad for instruction and for research. And see a number of recent reports here. Here's one iPad field report, observations. So this is an example of a major university giving their faculty iPads and letting them experiment with how they might be effective in teaching, learning, and research. And you can see here also a helpful little listing of some links to other colleges that also have iPad projects going. Finally, with regard to all of these blogs that I follow, I don't keep up with them by going to the site and checking periodically to see if there have been updates or more recent postings that I haven't seen. Rather, I subscribe to them all in what's called a feed reader, and the reader I use is called Google Reader. And so here's the basic interface of my Google Reader, and what I've done is to organize all the blogs that I follow into a folder called Academic Technology. And if I open that folder, I can see the blogs that are listed on the WordPress site plus a few others that I actually did not include there. So it's quite a lengthy list. Now, as it happens right now, I'm entirely up to date. There aren't any unread postings from any of these blogs. I've kept up to date in reading them all. But if I want to go back and look at all the recent postings from any given site, all I have to do is scroll through this list and click on the site that I want. Let's say we want to go to that technology teaching and learning site at the University of Notre Dame. It tells me I have no unread items. However, I can go back and look at all items, and now I can see, starting in reverse chronological order, all the recent postings from that site. And Google Reader has a feature where I can highlight and star those postings that I would like to hang on to for reference that I might come back to. For example, this one right here on tools for infographics. And if we wanted to, you could go back as far as you wanted to. So if you just started following a blog, you might want to go back and check out the last several months or perhaps even as much as a year to see things that you might be interested in that they've posted in the past. So again, using the navigational structure here, you can look at any of these blogs and do that same kind of thing. Here's that faculty iPad initiative from the University of Texas. You can see I've been working on an iPad project lately, so I've got several things marked to save for reference there. And so every time there's a new posting in any of those blogs, it will show up here in my reader, and I just open the reader, and that will be there available for me to read. So that's the system I use with this site at WordPress, with additional help from Diigo, the social bookmarking site, and my Google Reader, to keep up with new trends and developments in academic technology and instructional design.